The moment lasted just seconds, but it completely changed the energy of the night. In front of a roaring crowd at Northwest Stadium, Bruno Mars appeared to lose his composure mid-performance, breaking into uncontrollable laughter as Anderson Paak delivered one of the most unpredictable and animated acts of the tour. What began as a tightly choreographed show quickly turned into a viral, unscripted moment that fans are still talking about across social media. The incident took place during a recent stop on the Romantic tour, where Bruno Mars has been headlining a series of sold-out stadium shows across the United States. Known for his precision, charisma, and near-flawless live performances, Bruno Mars rarely breaks character on stage. That's exactly why this moment stood out. As Anderson Paak, performing in his signature DJ persona, launched into an exaggerated, high-energy routine filled with comedic timing, bold gestures, and crowd interaction, Bruno Mars visibly struggled to hold back laughter, eventually giving in as the audience erupted. For many in attendance, it wasn't just funny, it was humanizing. In an era where pop performances are often polished to perfection, this unscripted exchange revealed a different side of Bruno Mars, spontaneous, reactive, and deeply connected to the moment. This tour marks an important chapter in Bruno Mars' career. After years of dominating charts, winning Grammys, and redefining retro-inspired pop through projects like Silk Sonic, he has entered a phase where live performance is once again at the center of his artistic identity. The Romantic tour is not just a concert series. It's a statement about longevity, versatility, and connection. Industry observers have noted that Bruno Mars is leaning more into organic stage chemistry, particularly with longtime collaborator Anderson Paak. Their dynamic, first widely celebrated during their Silk Sonic era, has evolved into something looser and more improvisational. Moments like the one in Landover suggest that the show is no longer just about musical precision, it's about unpredictability. Bruno is one of the most controlled performers in the business, said a Los Angeles-based concert producer familiar with the tour. So when you see him genuinely break and laugh on stage, you know something real is happening. That's not scripted, that's chemistry. The impact of that authenticity is significant. In today's digital landscape, where short-form clips dominate platforms like TikTok and YouTube Shorts, moments that feel raw and unfiltered tend to travel faster and resonate deeper. Within hours, fan-recorded videos of the incident began circulating online, with captions highlighting Bruno Mars' laughter as a rare and unforgettable highlight. Music critics have also weighed in, suggesting that this kind of spontaneity could signal a broader shift in how major artists approach live performances. Audiences are craving imperfection, noted a New York-based music journalist. They want to feel like they're witnessing something unique, something that could only happen in that exact moment. Bruno Mars delivering that even unintentionally reinforces his relevance in a rapidly changing industry. For Anderson Paak, the moment further cemented his reputation as one of the most dynamic live performers of his generation. His ability to blend musicianship with humor and theatricality has made him an ideal counterpart to Bruno Mars' polished stage presence. Together they create a balance that feels both controlled and chaotic, a combination that keeps audiences engaged from start to finish. But at the center of it all remains Bruno Mars. Throughout his career, Bruno Mars has built a brand on excellence. From his early hits to his genre-blending collaborations, he has consistently delivered performances that are technically sharp and emotionally resonant. Yet moments like the one in Landover reveal something deeper, an artist who is willing to embrace unpredictability, even at the risk of breaking his own carefully crafted image. That willingness may be key to his continued dominance. In an industry where trends shift rapidly and attention spans grow shorter, staying relevant requires more than just talent, it requires adaptability. Bruno Mars appears to understand this. By allowing space for spontaneity by sharing genuine reactions with his audience, he transforms each show into an experience rather than a routine. Fans who attended the Landover concert described the atmosphere as electric. You could feel the energy shift instantly, one attendee said. When Bruno started laughing, it was like everyone realized we were part of something special. It wasn't just a performance anymore, it was a moment. That distinction matters. In the age of streaming where music is accessible anytime, anywhere, live concerts have become one of the few spaces where artists can create truly exclusive experiences. Bruno Mars, through both intention and accident, continues to master that space. The viral nature of the moment also highlights the growing intersection between live performance and digital storytelling. Clips from the show are now being reshared, remixed, and analyzed, extending the life of a few seconds into a multi-day conversation. For Bruno Mars, this kind of organic exposure is invaluable, far more powerful than traditional promotion. Still, it's important to separate hype from reality. While headlines may exaggerate the moment as a complete breakdown, those familiar with Bruno Mars' performance style understand that even his unscripted reactions exist within a framework of professionalism. He quickly regained composure and continued the show seamlessly, delivering the high-energy set fans expect. That balance between control and spontaneity is what defines Bruno Mars at this stage of his career. Looking ahead, the question is not whether Bruno Mars can maintain his success, but how he will continue to evolve. If the romantic tour is any indication, the answer lies in embracing the unexpected. By allowing moments of imperfection to surface, he not only strengthens his connection with audiences but also redefines what it means to be a global pop star in 2026. As the tour continues, fans will undoubtedly be watching closely, hoping for more moments like the one in Landover. Not because they expect Bruno Mars to lose control, but because they've seen what happens when he does. In a career built on precision, it was a brief moment of laughter that reminded everyone why Bruno Mars remains one of the most compelling performers in modern music. And if this is the direction he's heading, the future doesn't just look successful, it looks unforgettable. As clips from that night continue to circulate, the conversation around Bruno Mars has taken on a new tone, one that goes beyond admiration for his technical brilliance and begins to focus on his emotional accessibility. For years, he has been praised as a perfectionist, an artist who delivers nearly flawless vocals, choreography, and showmanship night after night. But this moment in Landover added another layer to his public image: vulnerability in real time. What makes this shift particularly compelling is how rare it is. In an industry where top-tier performers often rely on strict set lists, rehearsed banter, and controlled stage movements, genuine spontaneity can feel almost revolutionary. Bruno Mars, whether intentionally or not, disrupted that expectation. His laughter wasn't just a reaction, it became a signal that even the most polished performers are still living in the moment. Behind the scenes, sources close to the tour suggest that this kind of interaction isn't entirely accidental. While the structure of the romantic tour remains tightly organized, there's reportedly room for improvisation, especially during segments involving Anderson Paak. Known for his quick wit and unpredictable stage presence, Anderson Paak thrives in environments where he can push boundaries, play with timing, and engage directly with both the audience and his fellow performers. "Every show has a framework," said a touring crew member who requested anonymity. But within that, there are windows where Anderson can just go off. And Bruno knows it. He anticipates it, but he doesn't always know exactly what's coming. That unpredictability is precisely what fuels moments like the one in Landover. As Anderson, Paak leaned deeper into his comedic DJ persona, exaggerating transitions, hyping the crowd with unexpected phrases, and even mimicking exaggerated dance moves. Bruno Mars found himself caught between maintaining the flow of the show and reacting as a fellow artist and friend. The result was a brief but unforgettable break in composure that resonated far beyond the stadium. The audience response was immediate and intense. Fans didn't just laugh, they connected. In that instant, the barrier between performer and spectator seemed to dissolve. Bruno Mars was no longer just the headliner, he was part of the same shared experience, reacting alongside the crowd rather than performing above them. This kind of connection is increasingly valuable in today's entertainment landscape. As audiences become more media-savvy and selective, authenticity has emerged as a key driver of engagement. Viewers can quickly distinguish between scripted moments and genuine reactions, and they tend to gravitate toward the latter. For Bruno Mars, whose career has been built on delivering excellence, this adds a powerful new dimension to his appeal. Music analysts note that this evolution could have long-term implications. "Artists who can balance precision with authenticity are the ones who last," said a pop culture strategist based in Chicago. Bruno Mars has already proven he can deliver perfection. Now he's showing he can also deliver reality, and that's even more compelling. There's also a broader cultural context at play. In an era defined by constant connectivity, where fans experience concerts not just in person but through countless online clips, moments like this take on amplified significance. A few seconds of unscripted laughter can reach millions of viewers, shaping public perception in ways that traditional media coverage cannot. For Bruno Mars, this represents both an opportunity and a challenge. On one hand, viral moments can reinforce his relevance and introduce him to new audiences. On the other, they raise expectations. Fans attending future shows may hope to witness similar unscripted interactions, creating pressure to replicate something that, by its very nature, cannot be planned. Yet if there's one thing Bruno Mars has consistently demonstrated, it's his ability to navigate pressure with ease. Whether performing at award shows, headlining global tour, or collaborating with artists across genres, he has shown a remarkable capacity to adapt without losing his core identity. That identity, rooted in musical excellence, showmanship, and now, increasingly, authenticity, continues to evolve. As the romantic tour moves forward, industry insiders will be watching closely to see how these elements develop. Will Bruno Mars lean further into spontaneity? Will Anderson Paak continue to push the boundaries of live performance? And perhaps most importantly, how will audiences respond as the line between performance and reality becomes increasingly blurred? For now, the moment in Landover stands as a defining snapshot of where Bruno Mars is today. At the height of his powers, yet still open to surprise, meticulously prepared yet willing to let go. a global superstar who for a few seconds simply couldn't stop laughing. And in that laughter, fans didn't just see a performer, they saw a person.